How's it going, YouTube family? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about this. My 8th X Games gold medal and how I acquired it. I had a pretty crazy X Games this year. If you tuned in, you would know, but I thought I would go through what went down and how I managed to get my 10th X Games medal. So I got 8 gold and 2 silver now, so 10 total, which is freaking blows my mind to even think about. But a lot went into this, and man, I had 3 events and I put in so much work. I think for the past 3 months I've been non-stop at my land, just like trying to get tricks dialed for this dirt competition, because I knew like my best chances were in dirt, because park best trick is kind of up in the air a little bit. I could kind of just try to pull something out of my butt, but dirt I've been practicing, and you could see like I was putting in so much work in and practicing these tricks every single day. I would do these tricks just to get ready for this. But I got to X Games right, and the jumps are sweet. There's 4 jumps in a row. They were very similar to last year, and I really like the feel of them, you know. I learned to cash roll, was gonna add it to my run. I remember going into dirt eliminations, I was so nervous because you only get 2 runs, and then I did my run like perfect in practice, and I'm like ready to go. And then I remember on my first run, I did a double front flip, and starting off with double front flip was kind of a bad thing, but you know, I needed that big trick to get to the final. So I did the double front flip, and I landed kind of low, so instantly I'm like, nah, don't do fronty ruler, because that's kind of hard to do when you're not like fully set up. Did a fronty tuck, and then midway through the fronty tuck, I'm like, oh no, I have to cash roll the 3rd jump instead of fronty tucking it. And I remember I did it, I landed weird, and then tuck double flip, and I like skimmed, and I thought I didn't have enough rotation, and I over rotated straight to my ass. And the problem with this is like, if it was 3 runs, it wouldn't be so bad, but now I only have that 1 run left. So I remember I was like so nervous. I was like punching the ground. I'm like, no, now all the pressure is on. Now I have to do another double front flip and land it perfect. And I remember going into my 2nd run, I'm like, oh my gosh, so nervous. Like the most nervous I was the whole contest was my 2nd run of the eliminations, because if I didn't land this run, I wasn't going to the finals, and then I didn't even get the chance to get the medal. So double front flip, fronty ruler this time, and what did I do? Did I do fronty tuck? Yeah, I did fronty tuck to double backflip. And anyway, I was pretty pumped to get that. I thought that would be good enough to get through, and to my surprise, I actually ended up getting a 90.33 on the 2nd run of my eliminator. So I was like, wow, this is it. This is epic, because the next day was dirt finals. So I'm like, okay, how do I better this score? And that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the double front flip, fronty ruler, and then cash roll the 3rd jump, and then double flip the last. So I remember I was super nervous going into the finals. Oh, you're right, mate? Yeah. Whew. Drift's here. I'll let him out. Hey, go on then. First run of the dirt finals, I drop in, and I actually did my whole run. So I did the double front flip, fronty ruler, cash roll, and I landed like a little bit deep, so I didn't have enough speed. So then I'm like, nah, I got a fronty tuck. So I just did a fronty tuck instead. But that still gave me an 87.33. So I was like, oh wow, decent score for the run that I wasn't even looking for. And then I'm like, okay, I got to clean it up, because if I can get this run dialed, I know I'm going to get a good score. Well, I thought I'd get a good score. So I drop in 2nd run. Double front flip, perfect. Fronty ruler, and I even kicked my legs like pretty good straight. And then cash roll, landed that one so perfect. And then double flip. I was so damn stoked on this run. Like I was like, yes, let's go. You know, I was thinking, hopefully this would get me in on the medal list. I was thinking maybe I'm gonna get my first 3rd medal. I was looking for that bronze, you know. But they ended up giving me 89.66. which is actually a worse score than what I got in my dirt elimination run, even though I did less in my opinion. But I was like, oh man, like this sucks. I think I was in 4th place, but I ended up actually getting 6th with that run. So man, I was like, what am I going to do to better this? Anyway, dropped into my third run. I'm like, well, I'll add a front flip inward instead. So double front flip, went for the front flip inward, and it was the first front flip inward I had done on the dirt that whole week because I didn't expect to do it because the fronty ruler was scoring so well that I was like, I'd rather do that than fronty inward because last year they actually thought that trick wasn't as good as a fronty ruler. So anyway, fronty inward, missed my freaking front foot, and then I was just like over it, so I knew I wasn't going to make it, so I just threw my body into a cash roll and like landed completely on top of the jump, but I was pretty bummed with that. Obviously, walking away healthy though, that was like a bonus because I knew next up we had the best trick contest. Alrighty, so park best trick, mate. This one was my nail biter because last time, like last year, park best trick was last. So I was like, okay, if I make it to park best trick, I just get to send it. Whereas this time, dirt best trick was last. So I was like, I need to make it to dirt best trick because that was my best chance, I thought, of getting a medal because I'd trained so much for it. Literally a week before X Games, I was at my land and I'm like, doing 900 flares because I thought, oh, I could do a 900 flare and clean it up because in Japan I didn't quite do it good. So I was doing that, and then I'm like, imagine a double backflip to fakie. And then so I like set it up on my land so I could do it to an airbag, but I kept going too far into the ramp, and that is just death. I knew that that's like face to the coping, not good. So I'm like, oh, am I really gonna try this? I remember I was standing in the skate park, and I was like looking at the quarters, and I'm like looking at one that's huge. I'm like, this is probably good enough. But if I don't pull out enough, I'm going to land with my nose on the coping. And I'm so glad that I switched to the pull coping ramp because if I didn't, it would have been the end, I think. But park best trick starts. And I'm like, I'm so nervous, so nervous. But I remember the first one, it was the most important one. I drop in, boom, huck it, 1, 2, and when I actually did it, I didn't realize that my face hit the coping because it was kind of like a light tap on my head. And I'm like, when you're in the trick, you don't even think about it. But I remember being like, yes, this is so good. Even though I kind of tweaked my knee at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to work. This is going to work. Double backflip to fakie can actually happen right now. And I was like, if I can land this, this will make history. So anyway, I remember going to the second one. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. And I got like a weird pump into the ramp, so I had to do a U-turn and go again, and I got a weird pump again, but just sent it. And this time, the second time, it felt like I didn't pull out enough, so I thought I was gonna come in like face first. So I turned out, completely destroyed my back wheel because I did like a double flare straight to the side of the wheel. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like my wheel wouldn't even spin. It would like hit the frame and wouldn't even spin. And at this time I got a free coaster on, so I'm like, I need to ride this wheel because it's my only free coaster wheel. We're all kicking the wheel, try to get it straight. We get it so it just spins. It still like hits, but doesn't like get stopped. So now I'm like, come on. Third time's a charm. I'm not doing this weird manual stuff across the box. I'm gonna completely jump the box and then hit this double backy fakie. It's gonna be huge, but third time's a charm. Let's go. I remember I did it. I'm like, this is it. Boom, boom. I land and my frigging free coaster engages, but then my feet blow off and then I roll backwards like without my feet on, and I'm like, what? That was it. That was meant to be the one. But I think because the ramp's so steep and I land and I level out my feet and it actually engaged my free coaster. In hindsight, I should have just taken my chain off completely. But anyway, fourth one, I'm like, maybe this is it. Fourth time's a charm. I don't usually say that, but boom, 1, 2, and I actually turned on this one because I could feel that it felt like I was under rotating, so I turned and then I just landed. My front wheel exploded. I exploded, smacked the back of my head, and had to go back to the drawing board. And I remember I was so upset after this one. I'm like, gosh darn it, like, so many things are happening in my life. You can see behind me, like, I got these pink and blue balloons, which I will explain at the end of the video, but there's so many things going on in my life. I practiced so hard for this X Games, and here I am. I've done 2 events, and I haven't medaled in either of them, and I'm like, no, man, this is my last chance. And Dirt Best Trick was literally in 3 hours after, like, getting smashed doing double flip fakie. So I'm like, this is my last chance. So I went into Dirt Best trick practice, and I'm like, man, I got to Aussie roll this first jump. I hadn't even Aussie rolled it, and in hindsight, I should have freaking Aussie rolled it in my run, but I ended up doing the Aussie roll. I crashed the first one, and then I landed everyone after that. I was thinking, when we started the contest, I was like, you know what? I'm going to land an Aussie roll, get a score on the board, because I've stuffed up all these other contests. And then I remember I was sitting up there, and everyone was just charging. I think Dubby did his trick. Boom, just like double front flip 360, insane. Like, I can't drop in an Aussie roll right now. I got to step it up. I got to throw the look back in it. That was the plan all along. Aussie roll, look back, 360, double backflip, and it's my opposite look back because I don't have to switch my feet. So anyway, drop in, crank it. I didn't like snap the look back as hard as I wanted to, and I knew, but I just wanted to land it. Like, I'm doing a double backflip 360, which isn't easy in itself. Boom, done it, and I land, and my freaking foot slips off. I'm like, no, but I roll away, it doesn't touch. I hit the next lip, and the air straight to my butt, and I'm like, oh, I mean, it counts. Like, technically, that's a land, so I will celebrate it, but I knew straight away, I'm like, I can do better than that. I'm going to clean this up. If I want to win a gold medal at X Games, it has to be done properly.
Only 7 in the field.
More tweak on that. The dirt riders won't be happy. Got to make the dirt riders happy. BMX tricks, baby.
And I'm like, I'm going to snap the crap out of this one. Drop in, 360, double backflip, look back, and it felt so good, this one. I like felt the snap on the look back. And then I came in, and I was like thinking I was rotating sweep, but I just perfectly made it in. And I was pumped on that. And then I even did like a 3-1-handed, a freaking 3 table on the last one. I was trying to, you know, show off the steez a little bit. Because everyone always gives me crap. They're like, why don't you do look backs and tables? And I'm like, I do, but they're at home. Like when I'm having fun, not at X Games and competition. The rest of the contest was basically me biting my nails, because I knew if Darby landed his 360 double fronty, I think he calls it the UFO, I think he was definitely going to take the win from me. I'm like, oh man, this is nail biting stuff, but I wanted him to land it, so I was cheering him on. I ended up doing also a fronty ruler for the crowd, and then I did like what I should have done for my frigging dirt run. I did Aussie roll, front flip ruler, cash roll, and then I was meant to double flip, but then I didn't have enough speed, so I did like a birdie front flip no-hander. But I got it! I won this! My friggin' 10th X Games gold medal. Here it is in the flesh. So damn stoked. And best thing is, I actually just got an invite for X Games Japan, so I can get some redemption in Japan on that double flip fakie. That's what I'm thinking. Depends on the course, but so damn stoked. And then I actually grabbed the mic and made a crazy announcement.
I've lost so many people, and I'm about to gain a person. Shout out to my beautiful fiance. We're having a baby 5 days before Christmas, wow. And I never gave up here. We got it done. 3rd time's the charm, baby. Let's go.
Pretty damn stoked. My fiance, Jess, had no clue that I was going to announce it at X Games, but I was just so excited in the moment that I had to do it. I was like, oh my gosh. I had so much pressure in my head. I'm like, because obviously I'm having a child, so I'm like, I want to do good at X Games, like represent my kid, my fiance. And I managed to do it, and I thought that was the best time to announce it, was after winning the gold. And the week after that, we had the gender reveal. That's why I have this stuff. And guess what? It was a boy! So let's go. I don't know which way is which because the camera's backwards, but it was a boy. It's a boy. Let's go. I'm having a baby boy 5 days before Christmas. Well, that's what the plan is, so who knows when it'll come, but I love yous all. I'm back on YouTube. Video every Friday. That's what I'm going for. Let's go. I got more medals to win. More YouTube videos to make. Subscribe. I love yous. Peace out, legends.